to the daily draw at the end of the week. Well, oh, I'm so pleased. I really hope that you love this one. We've got quite a few Harry Potter characters that we've done in the past, but this one is for my daughter Kate, who is one of her favourite characters. And today we're going to be drawing and painting Dobby. So grab your pencil and let's get drawing. So we've got Dobby today, and I have found this quite difficult to try and find a way of drawing him that would make him instantly recognisable, but simplify it down a little bit. It's quite a complex thing to draw Dobby, so I hope I've got it here, and that we can do it using our watercolour pencils. So I've done mine on watercolour paper here, using watercolour pencils, but just use whatever you can get your hands on. So I'm going to put that away to one side, and this is how we're going to do it. We'll finish with that drawing there, but to get there we are going to start here with these simple shapes. So can you see that circle and a rectangle here, adding it up and developing it will lead us to Dobby. So that's all we're going to start with, a circle and a rectangle. So let's begin here. I am going to find the middle of the page, and if I find it on here that'll really help. So the middle is about there. Perfect. So if I start there and I can just take that from the middle of the page out in a line. Look how loosely I'm holding my pencil, really loose pencil grip, and I'm just going to take, whoops, that down. You can see how light I'm doing it because I'm going to end up rubbing this out. So we want to keep that nice and light. Now let's find the centre of that again, and then on each side I want you to just take up one to what will be Dobby's neck, and we'll start with a little circle there. And then if I take a point there just above that central bit, and I'll start drawing my circle. A lot of this is going to be rubbed out down the sides, so keep it nice and light. Because I'm right-handed, I always find that bit easier to draw, but I'm trying to keep my arm very loose here to get that circle in. Right, and that is it. They're our first shapes. So if you get that rectangle, the circle in, and then we'll move on. Okay, so how do we turn this into Dobby? Well, the key thing really is there's amazing ears, isn't it? So I'm going to take my pencil out there like that. And if I find a point here, if I bring it in, can you see? It's kind of coming up to there and then out and across. So if I come up to there, take a point about there, this will really help me, because then it isn't a curve down, it's actually quite straight, that bit there, can you see? And then it curves to get that shape. And the same here, curving round to there. This one actually is going to come into the circle slightly. So it's not symmetrical. That would be too easy, wouldn't it? This one is higher up here. I'm going to take it round and down there like that. And now I'm going to come into the centre. Before I rub these circle sides out, I want to put in a couple of details. And again, it's not symmetrical. If I go into the centre, up and a little bit to the right, I'm going to put a line there. That's going to become the nose. And I'm going to go with two circles. One and one a little bit further away, almost towards the edge there. Second circle there. So that's beginning. That's us beginning our picture here. If I take my rubber now, I can get rid of those lines. 1, 2, 3, there. So you'll see it when you pause. You'll see it'll come up, and that's the red bits, and they're the bits you want to rub out. So here I'm going to take that line down to there and that line down to there, and then let's work in Dobby's shirt here, down to there, and on that side it's going to go up. Using this as a guide, I'm going to come out and then down, and the same here, out and then in and down there. And I can get rid of that rectangle. It's starting to look a little bit more Dobby-like, isn't it now? Can you recognise Dobby is beginning to appear? Now here, If I come in on the either side, I'm going to put this triangle, and that's where we're going to build the arms at the next stage. The one on this side's slightly bigger. Triangle there. And that's it for this stage. So pause, and if you get to that, then we'll come and finish it. Okay, let's start here with the eyes. The eyes are everything for Dobby. I mean, it is what we'll really look at. And what I want you to do is to just go round here, slightly narrower underneath, and pop in the eye there. And we've got another one around there. And then around the eye, we've got another shape. This is like the whites of the eye. If that's the pupil and the iris, this is the whites here. And it kind of comes down like that and joins the top. And on this side, it's very much at the bottom. So you'll see when you pause, you'll be able to just look. If you're watching it on an iPad or a phone, you'll be able to go right in to get those. Still looks quite odd, doesn't it? And I think that's partly because we've not got the nose shape in. So let's just put a couple of lines there. We've got that line, and then we've got this triangle here. That's all it is. It's like a little triangle. A couple of lines to the side. And then that's all we're doing there. The mouth here, just underneath that triangle. It's not Dobby at his happiest, this picture. We've got that. And then just a line underneath and on top there like that. But the key thing here is these ears, which we'll do when we come to the painting part. And if we take those round, we've got that. So let's work into his neck. We've got a line coming in there like that. Oh, I've accidentally rubbed that bit out. I don't want that coming down. And here, I'm just going to put a little line in there. And the same there. And through his top, you can put a couple of lines in on his neck. Through his top, we're going to have these lines here, which we'll use. You'll see what we're going to do with those when we come to the painting bit. And all we need to do to finish it off is to pop his arms in, which are pretty skinny. So coming around like that. And there, and the same here. And round. That is our Dobby. So I'm using my watercolour pencils here, and I'm going to be using 5 colours from our pack. We've got the pack that has the book, all your colour pencils, your pencil and your paintbrush. That's all available on our website at littleartschool.co.uk. You can go to our shop and buy all of that for just £15, including delivery, which is a bargain. I'm going to be using these 5 for this particular drawing now. I'm going to start here. Well, actually, I'm going to start with, let's get the skin colour in. I found this really difficult when I was developing it, so I'm going to use a combination of these 3. And let me show you before I begin how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go really light, basically. A little bit of yellow, a tiny bit of the red, and also here and there a little bit of this burnt sienna, which is a reddish brown. And when I put those together, you'll see that's the colour it's going to give me. You see that? So that's what we're working for. Not too much yellow. It's temptation. And in the ears, I'm not going to put any yellow at all. I'm just going to do those pink. I'm going to go down to there, bottom of the neck, over the mouth, over the ears. Trying to be careful a bit more around the eyes. Other than that, that can all go in. So a bit, you can see I didn't put much. I'm going so lightly. You could, if you test it and you've not put enough yellow in, you can always go back and put more, but you won't find you will. You can't take it out. That's the problem. I'm just going to go with a bit of red, not much. More in the ears there, can you see? And then a little bit elsewhere. Don't want too much. And then I'm also going to, because I want it to have a real warmth to it, I'm going to go in here with that bit of burnt sienna as well. Okay, let's see if this has worked. This is the nerve-wracking bit now. If I start turning it, oh, perfect, yeah. You can see it's got that bit of yellow, but it's also got the red coming in, and it's got the sienna as well. So I'm going to go right round there, around the eyes. It's a bit too yellow there, so I'm going to get some of that pink from there and bring it in. So if any bits don't feel quite right, you can always take some colour from somewhere else and pop it in. I'm leaving the pink, I'm going to come back to that. Going around each of those, and I'm going to do the same round here. And then I'm going to turn the pink. And actually drag that pink in slightly. You see? Into there. That's fine. Same down here. And then we'll do the arms. See, that's a bit pinker, so I'm going to take a bit more pink in there. Okay, we'll let that dry. Whilst we're waiting for it to dry, really sharp here, I'm going to come in and just do a light green in the irises. Really light green. And I'll take my brush and I'm going to use the very tip here. Look, you can see I'm just really straightening that out. And I'm just going to turn that. Dobby's got these really recognisable, very pale green here. There we go. And we'll come back and put the black in right at the end. But now if we come on to his robe here, which was quite difficult to get the colour right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the whole thing here. I'm not colouring it in, I'm going around the whole thing with the green. It's that pale green, not the dark green that's in the pack. I'm going to put a bit of green on those lines we put. And then I'm just going to put quite a bit of that burnt sienna in. So I've got the green, the burnt sienna, and then up here where I want it to look shadowy, I'm going to put black. Okay, let's see if this works. So if I go there, if I start to turn the green, you can see as I'm touching it, it's taking in the green, but it's not a clean green, it's a kind of mucky green really. And that's what the burnt sienna is doing. It's really turning it. Oops. So pulling off in the green, catching the brown, and that's giving me the colour I'm looking for. I'm using plenty of water here to turn the paint. And then finishing here with my brush up in that bit of black there. Okay, now back to the black pencil. What I'm going to do, put in the pupil. I'm not going to turn this to paint now. I've finished with my brush. Leaving a tiny little highlight. Can you see that? That little dot of light there. And then just going around that in a broken line. I'm not going in a solid line, I'm breaking it slightly. There. Then I'm going to take this burnt sienna again. And these little, lines that I've got here just to bring out the nose and the mouth. I'm just going to add a little burnt sienna there, but I'm also going to use that here And that is our Dobby. Hope that you really enjoyed that. Now, if you want to do some more Harry Potter drawings, what we've got, if you go into the Brilliant Books playlist, you will find Dumbledore, Stitch, and we've got the Hedwig carrying, well, we've got a couple of different Hedwigs actually that you can find in there. So plenty of Harry Potter for Harry Potter fans to be found in the daily drawer. So, oh, and also a bowtruckle from Fantastic Beasts that we did too. So take a look at those. Hope you enjoyed them. We're going to be back next week for our very final week of the daily drawer as you're all getting ready to go back to school. We'll just do a final few and we are going to be back on Monday with a very cute little dog. See you then.